we don't realize the grace of God, and we take it for granted. I know I've taken it for granted, thinking I had time and I'll do it tomorrow. Things that God told me to do, putting it off. Just really living life according to my way instead of His way. And I'm not even talking about observing a biblical feast, not eating pork, and all of the things that outwardly people would think is His way. I'm talking about something as simple as asking Him, where should I live? Asking Him, or if He wakes me up at 3 a.m., am I waking up? If He tells me you no longer need to eat chocolate, am I obeying that, or am I doing my own thing? Am I fulfilling my own lust and my own flesh? And in Christian world, it's easy to say, oh well, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fornicate, I don't do this, that, and the third. But it's the simple things. It's how do you talk to your kids? How do you treat your finances? You may not be abusing drugs, but are you abusing your finances? Are you mismanaging your money because you're not seeking God on what to do with it? It's just a lot of things. And I have a tendency to, when I know something's going to happen, or when I have heard about things happening, because it can be so challenging, sometimes you don't want to hear it. And sometimes, you want to pretend like, nah, I ain't hear that. No, or you push it to the back of your mind. And sometimes you don't want to look crazy, because there have been times where I've said stuff and people would look at me like I got two heads. So I would say nothing and keep it to myself. And now it's like there's more and more of this urgency. Oh, yeah, my dog is with me. There's more and more of this urgency of things are not going back to normal. We have really been living our life according to our own will and not God's will, even if we think we've been living it according to God's will. We've not, because at the end of the day, we've been conditioned so much to live for ourselves, and to the point where we'll even convince ourselves, oh well, God said and God told me, when it probably wasn't God at all. It was us moving on our own behalf and on our own accord. Like, God even showed me I had issues with control, and I didn't even think I was controlling, but doing things safe and doing things out of what's comfortable and convenient and all of that, that's still a form of control. That's still saying, okay, I'm God because everything's comfortable, rather than really trusting God even when it's uncomfortable, even when it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to be coming on here to really start sharing what I should have been sharing a long time ago. Like, I should have been consistent on YouTube. I should have. But there's no time like the present. So presently, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, because time waits for nobody, and there are a lot of things that we need to be clear of. We need to get in order, and it don't have to take a long time. It just has to take a submission and a will to do it. So I'm very passionate when it comes to identity and healing of the mind, and healing from our past, and seeing how all of that relates to our identity and our relationship with God. yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's not going to be no form or fashion. It's another thing, waiting for it to be perfect, waiting for me to have content, waiting for it to look a certain way. Time out for all of that. Seriously, we ain't got time for all of that stuff. What you see is what you get. Some days I may come, with a little more makeup and a little more prepared or whatever, but for the most part, I'm just going to be giving it as it needs to be given, or just as I felt led to just say it and do it. So I just hope you'll come along with me on this journey, because I'm realizing we could think we know God because you may have all these gifts. You can hear him. You've seen him do things. You fully believe in the Bible, or say you believe in the Bible, but really, really deep down in your heart, not know him, not really have made him Lord, where you're willing to surrender and submit and give up everything, like Abraham was willing to sacrifice his own son simply because of an instruction that God gave him, willing to leave his household, his father's household, because they were worshiping idols, willing to sacrifice everything, give up everything for him, making him first, making him Lord, making him the first priority, not denying Jesus. For God I live and for God I die. And really meaning that. Like, I had a conversation not too long ago, actually it's probably been a year ago, with someone where we were saying, willing to die, because we're not going to deny Christ. And it's like, yeah, mentally preparing ourselves to just, willingly, die if we have to. But it's like, even on a daily basis, are we even dying to our flesh? Because when the time comes, it's not going to be so easy to just, I'm willing to die for Christ. Because we're so connected to our flesh. We're so connected to things and people and this and that we can't even see what's greater ahead. So I'm really positioning myself to die daily, like the scripture talks about, really dying daily. Giving up my will for his will. So I hope you'll join me. Talk soon.